Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. A double liners unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. Um, Back again. Spirit still on me, so I was like, hey, you know what? Do another stream. And hey man, as the title of this is the Lord is going, hey, the Lord's going to turn you bug outs, you fallouts, you scoffers and you scorners, man. The Lord going to turn your TVs off, man. You know, and you got to keep the titles a little clean, all right. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a saying that a famous YouTuber, Hassan Campbell says, man. You know, but it's a good it's his catch it's a catchy phrase, you know, and we say it, amongst ourselves, humor behind it, referencing where it comes from. But yeah, man, it's a serious subject matter, man. Lord gonna start turning you niggas TVs off, man. You know, a lot of you niggas that was once amongst us, a lot of you, just because in the spirit, I to a brother, talking to the elder brother, Bara, and in the Trinidad camp, just literally just got off the phone with him, and we were talking about a situation or whatnot, and I'm not even gonna go into it because I'm not even gonna give it attention, but in the spirit, man, a lot of y'all, man, the Lord gonna start touching y'all, man. The Lord gonna start bringing judgment on you niggas, man. All right. And I'm gonna get the scriptures, but I'm gonna quote Elder Yashawamba on this, man. He said this many years ago, and it's so true. When you come into this truth, I've met I've met both dynamics on both sides of the coin, man. I've met some of the greatest men that I've ever met in my life, you know, one of a kind men in righteousness. I've never met men like this. And then on the flip side, I've met some of the most grimiest, backbiting, covet breaking, thieving niggas right here in the that claim to be in the knowledge, man. You know. So again, let's get to it. I'm not gonna make it too long. Um, but hey man, like the apostles say, man, when the iron's hot, use them. You better use it, man. Before you know it, a couple days on shot by, you be like, oh fuck. Not even on no just how fast time go by. So let's see. Um, let's just see. Let's start here. It's one of my favorites. Oh, you know what? We'll come to that. Nope. Let's go here. I don't bring the scripture a lot, but hey, here we are. This is Jude 1:4. Hey, 144. Right, and it says, "For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh and our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach." All right. Let's get that another. I want to get that in another translation. Just see out of curiosity. All right. So this is the BBE again. Jude, verse 4. For certain men have come among you secretly, marked writings for this evil fate, turning his grace into an unclean thing and false to our only master, the Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Now, this is the BBE version, right? So again, there's certain men that get into this thing and they ain't right. And that's just part of the program. And the best thing you could do is pray that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, maintain you. And I'm speaking about you, I'm speaking to myself first, in righteousness, you know, because we don't know. You don't know that you're a member of the elect until it's solidified, you know, and you survive you pass the test. You understand? That's when you know for sure. But until then, you know, evil spirits can jump on anybody, you know. So again, you want to make sure that. But the point of it all is that there are individuals that come amongst us that just ain't fucking right, man. All right, a lot of these guys, man. You can name, you know, from the awards to the elements to the Karatazas in Orlando to fucking Yardon in our camp, you know, and the list goes on. I'm just naming some in the years past of, you know, men that they have a form of godliness, but they really ain't right. All right, they ain't right. All right. So the Lord gonna start dealing with y'all, man. The Lord gonna start dealing with you fallouts, you back turners, turning back to you niggas that went back into the world, you scoffers, you scorners, you same with a lot of, and you know who's, and that goes for a lot of you women as well too. A lot of you women are lots of scoffers and scorners. You were with men, all right, and you were just a wicked ass woman, and you went back into the world and you're a demon. The Lord ain't forget about you either. All right. So again, you have crept in unawares. All right. Who before were of old ordained to this condemnation. And that's the point. They were written. It was their fate. See, you want to make sure that you are you are teachable. And when I mean teachable, that you are rebukable, right? You want to make sure that your fear levels towards your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is in check. Your pride level is in check. You want to make sure that these things are in check, you know? Because see, these are the things that show forth your fruits, how you handle things, how you are. And a lot of men, they get exposed, but they were, oh, that's what I was going to say. You want to make sure that you're useful in the spirit as well. All right. That the men around you are benefiting from you being around in a positive sense. Because see, a lot of these men, hey man, if you've ever played sports like basketball, you know, you'll if you ever play basketball, right, you'll have the coach will put the cones out. He'll put two cones at the free throw line at the corner at the top at the key. And, you know, you got to go around the key and you got to hit one dribble and pull up jumper, or one dribble, go around it like a pick, one dribble and, you know, lay up. One, you know, you're doing drill work, right? But then when you're done with that, you get the cone out the way and you move on to the next thing, right? Um, right. So again, it's the same thing with a lot of these men. Salaki, it's a lot of notifications. Forgive me. A lot of these men are just cones. Um, they're basically cones. They're orange cones, man. And once the lesson is learned, once the experience is earned by the men that's supposed to get it for the furthering of the ministry in the church, they get fucking removed. And you don't want to be just as simple as you were just a drill. Yo, we learned how to deal with this shit with this nigga. That's how we talk about them. I went through this nigga, we learned patience. And through this nigga, we learned, how not to lead. And I learned how not to be a man. And I learned, you don't want to be an example of how not to be. Through the spirit, every brother should look at you and this is an example on how to be. And everybody, because it should be Yahweh Shai. There's no parts of Yahweh Shai where it's like, yo, you don't want to be like that when it comes to Yahweh Shai. There's none. He's perfect. That's what we're striving for. All right. So let's get this word. What were some of these words I want to look at? Let's look up this word lascivious. See what comes up. Basic definition. Feeling morbid sexual desire or propensity to lewdness. Let's go in the blue letter and look that. All these goddamn pop-ups, man. All right, bear with me 1 second. I'm in the stew. All right, let's see. Lasciviousness in the Greek is
as Elgaya.
Play that again.
Strong's G 766 as Elgaya. As Elgaya.
Right, which means unbridled lust, excess, latentsunis. I'm gonna look that up too. Lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness. All right, let's look this word up. All right, how do you say this?
Licentious.
Licentious. A lack of legal or moral restraint, disregarding sexual restraints. Right. So it says, behold, Jude 1 and 4, for there are certain men crept in unaware, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, just lewdness, just excessiveness. They just can't get enough. They're not in a space of sacrifice. They don't know how to sacrifice. They will sacrifice you in the name of continuing them. That's them. They are lascivious. All right? Lewdness. This is them. All right? But how do you know what this is if you don't experience it? You have to experience it. Okay? Unbridled lust. Just can't control their lust. The lust of women, the lust of money, the lust of power, the lust of all these different things that make that men show forth when they come into this day. 144, right? That's them. Okay? So they crept in. That's not the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's not a righteous spirit. That's an ungodly spirit. Okay? So again, the Lord is gonna start turning y'all niggas TVs off, man. He gonna start spilling, and Hassan Kim, he gonna start spilling y'all's noodles on the sidewalk, man. That's what's about to start happening. Because a lot of y'all are out here and you're walking around, you went back into the world, you basically turn your back on the Lord, you know. You got a lot of these old jokers coming back, presenting themselves as if they've been around this whole time, right? You took your hand off the plow, all right? You're coming with these bugged out doctrines and you're trying to spoil the fruit of the Lord. You're coming with these bugged out names, a gram of mafia, and a bar of Mentos, and fucking weird breakdowns of, Esau's gonna pop back up after slavery, and we're gonna have to go to war with him again, and you niggas is out here fighting the fucking, out here putting yourselves in mischievous troubles. It's just a lot of bullshit, man. It's a lot of fucking bullshit out here, man. All right? You scoffers, you shit talkers. The Lord just gonna start bringing judgment, man. All right? It's just that simple. It's gonna be nasty, nasty judgment, man. Nasty judgment, man. And I pray it is. See, all this friendly guy, y'all got the imagery of the Bible all messed up, man. There's plenty of accounts throughout the scriptures where great judgments were brought upon men that went against the Lord's chosen men to do what they were doing. And that's what's about to start happening. Just because judgment is not expedient does not mean that it's not coming, man. All right? So let's go from there to 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. All right? It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh Shem Yahushai to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And a lot of, this is the irony of this walk. And I speak as a man. I'm just speaking from my own mind here. This is not necessarily scriptural, but in my own walk, is Esau fucking with me? Is Esau bothering me? Absolutely, in this whole societal way, But in my day-to-day walk, in my own personal space, it's really Jake, my own people, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biggest troublesome part. And then on a further note, some of the most traumatic shit that I've probably experienced or dealt with or heard or whatever has been within the truth from niggas that aren't around anymore. Men that made me furious in ways that, it is, we supposed to be brothers, but you've backbiting, covet breakers, truce breakers. One day a nigga be your friend, and the next day he's your full-fledged enemies. All this type of bullshit. That's troubling. And the Lord's gonna recompense a lot of y'all, all of you, excuse me, for this bullshit, man. A lot of shit that I've heard from a lot of men in other camps, man. Like this dude Element, man. The Lord ain't forgot about you. Lord ain't forget about you. Just because a lot of these names men don't speak on, and there's so many names that's over the years that ain't here. The Lord ain't forget about you niggas, man. And I'm not even gonna give the shine to speak on all the names. I spoke on a few, and there's plenty of more. Because through the Spirit, see, we're in the feast of the dedication, man. Rededicating the temple. And a lot of you niggas, man, through the Spirit, you brought filth. You tried to bring filth into the temple. You tried to bring malice and wickedness and all type of bullshit within the temple of the Lord, man, which is the body of the men. And the Lord's gonna see about you about that, man. It's a lot of shit. You got this dude, I don't know him personally, this dude Yahweh call. Yo, man, you offended a lot of men, man. You offended a lot of men. I don't even think you understand, man. I've never personally met this guy, We was in Great Millstone. I remember when all this bullshit was happening. But over the years of just, conversations and names coming up, man, you've offended a lot of men, man. Matter of fact, beyond offended, you've troubled a lot of men. And you better hope and pray that you should be pleading for those men to to forgive you. See, that's another thing, man. You don't be knowing, man. There's some special spirits out here, man. Some men the Lord has a great tenderness towards or love. You can't just be out here just doing the men of the Lord, the men's Lord, the men of the Lord grimy like that, especially if you know what time it is. All right. So it says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh Shem Yahushai to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you. A lot of you women, you man, very soon, a lot of these women that were once with men, you're gonna start getting your fucking TVs turned off too, man. Because see, you, like I said, that was another point I was gonna say. That's the biggest issue. A fucking demon woman, man. Some woman that couldn't deal with the fucking fact of you changing from being an African American to being a Judite, or from being a Puerto Rican to being an Ephraimite, and transitioning into being a Israelite. So then you buck up and you go crazy and you talk shit, you scoff and scorn, you talk shit about the other men. A lot of you women, man, you deserve it, and you're gonna get your TVs turned off, man. Like I said, I'm keeping my words clean because this is one of them type joints. But through the spirit, the Lord ain't about to play with you people much longer, man. This place is breaking down fast. There's not much left here. There's no real, all this is fluff. It's all fluff what we're seeing. Any construction you see, any newness you see, it's all fluff to make you think it's one way when it's really and truly not. So what you think? You women, you got a lot to pay for, man. I remember years ago, this was over 10 years ago at this point, I was working at a store. It doesn't even matter the store. And minding my business, this bitch comes in and she was like, ew, why you got that beard? That's what I say. Like, now it's all trendy and shit. I remember when, man, I remember when it wasn't a trend. How about that? Right? And the Israelites made it a trend, man. Nobody else made beards what it is but the Hebrew Israelites. We made it cool, starting with our apostles and elders through the spirit. All right. Now, this bitch walk up to me and she's like, hey, you got that beard. I'm like, cause I want it. I'm at fucking work, right? And then she's like, you Muslim? I'm like, no. You from Philly? No. She's like, oh, okay. And she just kept going. I'm like, what the fuck can I help you with? She's like, yeah, I don't like beards. And in my head, I'm like, if I said to her, I don't like bitches with fake hair in their head, I would have lost my job and it would have been probably a big situation and scenario and this, that, and the third. But see, that's still like, whatever. But the Lord don't forget. Matter of fact, let's get that. This is Matthew 12 and 36. And it says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men, and I'm going to say it here, men and women shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment, man. So all that bullshit that you said, you better hope that we ain't right, man. A lot of you, man. A lot of you, man. It's like the amount of people that talk shit, man. It's amazing. And I know for you brothers and sisters that you've gone through this, man. Little light shit, man. You be at a family situation, you know, and it'd be like food, right? And you're not even pushing your spirit on nobody. You like, fuck it. You want to eat your fucking crab and your shrimp? Do you? I don't fucking care. The Lord will judge you on that. I'm not getting pressed. I'm not trying to be that person that's why I used to get to a point where it's like, man, I'm just gonna stay the fuck away. But then you be like, oh no, I'm good. Thank you, but I'm good. Why? You gotta pay for that shit, man. You scoffing. You scoffing at us living our own fucking lives. We don't even force this on nobody. We just say what we do, and that's that. But everybody gets in their fucking feelings behind what we do. I don't do it. So why the fuck are you concerned? I don't eat pork. Do you eat human? Do you eat rat? Nah, then why what? You just trying to poke. A lot of you people are you like to poke. And see, the Lord gonna poke you back, man. All right, let's get a few more scriptures. We're gonna close this up. We've been going about 25. Yep. This is 2 Peter's 3:3. And it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. See, that's going hand in hand with Jude. That lasciviousness crept in unawares. All right. See, a lot of scoffers, you got scoffers that just come out of nowhere and just, you got, it's different classes of scoffers, You got your low quality comedian scoffer. Yo, I'm gonna dress up like the Israelites. I'm gonna make fun. 30 seconds of laughs. Who fucking cares, man? But you got the comedian scoffer. Then you got the other religious scoffers. I'm a Christian and I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and you're hurting. You're wrong. You're crazy. The vocab Malone level. And then there's that level, that class 3, which were part of the work. They were once amongst you, and now they a scoffer. That don't mean, but that's not what that means, man. And then they got the talk, they got the walk, they got the whole personification. But then they telling you bullshit like, and the tribe of Dan is or the after 1,000 years, Esau gonna rise back up. That's a different level of scoffing. And you black Hebrew Israelites, that's a different form of scoffing. That's scoffing. That's why I said there's levels to scoffing. There's different types and calibers of scoffers amongst us, right? They become they come the dark side GMS camps, or look at what War is doing in Mississippi. He's scoffing, whether even though he believes that bullshit. In reality, he's scoffing at the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Oh no, that's not what it means, man. This is Yahushai that's his earthly name, but his spiritual name is a gram of macaroni. You're scoffing, whether you realize it or not. You're scoffing. All this, I'm King David bullshit in Israel. It's a scoffer's spirit. Okay. So it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust, saying, where is the promise of his coming? Oh, y'all said in the year 2000 that that it was the end time, and where is the coming? The biggest scoffers to what we teach are Israelites. Some of the biggest scoffers are Israelites. Oh man, y'all been saying that shit, man. Who was just recently? Chief Ephraim. Oh man, y'all be saying this and dates and and the scriptures speak about hastening the day. You're scoffing. You're literally scoffing at us for hastening the day. That's what I said. They're some of the biggest scoffers are Israelites with big beards and garments with fringes. With fringes in a border of blue and Hebrew names and et cetera, et cetera. All right. So it says, where is the promise of his coming? From since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. And like I say, look at their works. they're all about community building, and they want to build this neighborhood and build this homestead and build this market, and set up 401ks for Hebrew Israelites. And that's a form of scoffing at the spirit of we're at the end. You understand? That's what that is. All right. It says, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then was being overflowed with water. All right, so we could drop that. Let's go to let's see. Might get a few more scriptures. If not, probably just close up. And you know what? That's the point. We don't gotta beat at this horse. The Lord is just gonna start bringing great judgment on these different anti messiahs, these anti, these enemies unto the cross. These individuals, the Lord's gonna start visiting, man. Because it's wicked. All right. And the Lord's gonna make great examples of a lot of you, man, through the Spirit, man. So, hey, with that, man, I pray that this was edifying and informative, and hold on, man. Keep fighting, and know that these guys they're gonna lose, man. And even if they're not showing their face, they back in the world working in some factory, you know, some big Madden 2K player. The Lord ain't forgot about you, man. All right. Hey, so with that, I want to say shalom.